Hi everyone, it's Victor speaking. And I wanted to make a video about Venus and Saturn square. I believe this is one of the hardest aspects this week. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a clue how to prepare with this energy. By the way, it's very active on the 17th of September. It's from 7 degree Scorpio to 7 degree of Aquarius. And probably it's quite prominent because the moon is also in Aquarius as well. So we've got quite a Saturnian flavor here, loads of Saturnian quality, which we need to be dealing with. Probably this aspect will be felt for at least about 3-4 days. So you've got 4 days to kind of deal with this energy. Now, one of the reasons why I chose the background picture is because I think this represents Saturn and Venus square pretty well. We're talking about a sad woman whose heart got ripped out. And this could be one of the manifestations of the Saturn Venus square. But before we actually go into that, if you like the video, make sure you press like. Also share the content with others who want to learn more about astrology. I always try to bring some unique features to this channel. So for instance, a few days ago, I discussed the meaning of Orcus and how you can heal your Plutonian energy with that. So you might want to be checking that video out. And if you would like to get notified about any upcoming videos, webinars I'm going to be holding, then press the notification bell. Now, this square definitely talks about adjustments which we need to make around time limits and responsibilities. Now, Saturn always wants to attend its duties. Venus always wants to have fun, but because we've got quite strong Saturnian quality this time around, remember Saturn is in rulership plus the moon also there. So it could indicate that work comes first, then after we can have some type of fun. Saturn is all about consolidation, containment, and because it's in the sign of Aquarius, it very much talks about your friendship. Now, we might want our friends to understand that we want to be attending our responsibilities first before we actually go out and have a couple of beer, for instance. It's very much about Scorpio. Venus talks about trusting someone else, and Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius. So it could really talk about whether I am able to trust my inner circle, or how can I create that inner circle for myself. Saturn is the planet of reality check. So we might need to be having a look at our relationships with our friends or with the community a little bit closer, whether we do have got that deep connection like I thought before. And the deep connection comes from Venus being in the sign of Scorpio. You might need to be looking at what your values are in your friendships. Do they actually, can I actually count on them when I need them? Or will they throw everything up when I'm in trouble, and then would they come to rescue me? This could be another topic which this Venus Saturn square might bring up. Now, Saturn always tells you that you're gonna have to say no. So it might be the fact that I have to say no to a party. Or it might be about, asking yourself the questions, what are my barriers? Where are my barriers to actually achieve money or to achieve love? That could be another topic which this Saturn-Venus square brings up. Because Venus in Scorpio is all about finding pleasure finding pleasure by connecting with someone on a deeper level. And what are my barriers? Because with this Saturn-Venus square, we can actually feel that I'm not lovable, I'm not likable, I am not able to express my feelings towards others. Now, it might be also going back to the friendship topic, because at the end of the day, we've got Saturn in Aquarius. So do I need to let them know that they are doing something which I cannot tolerate anymore? Or shall I just let go of it? And probably creating boundaries in friendship could be actually very important this time around. How many times has that boundary got crossed in the recent past? Because this square can kind of can act like a boiling point. So it can come to the surface and then, you know, I can't take that anymore. So there is a song which always comes to my mind with this constellation, and that's the Enough is Enough by Donna Summers, right? Enough is enough, and then I'm sending the guy away. I had enough of that. And this song actually leads us to the relationship meaning of Venus. This could actually represent what Donna Summers sings about. I had enough of this guy, get out of my life once and for all. So it could have two manifestations really here when we talk about the relationship department. Me and my partner need to be facing some type of challenges, external challenges, and we need to be somehow uniting our forces to tackle that problem. Because Venus is in the sign of Scorpio. So that talks about making a strong bond with someone. However, this could also talk about that your personal relationship is actually at a crossroad. So the question it might bring up, whether your relationship has been off for a while or not, and we're gonna have to make a decision. So this could bring up situations when you're gonna have to deal with something that has been around for a while, and I just procrastinated that. I swept it underneath the carpet. Remember, Saturn is retrograde, so it does bring up old problems. Saturn retrograde could talk about the fact that we do need to realize or recognize something which has been going on for a while, but maybe I had my eyes shut over this. Because Venus also talks about your financials. It would talk about getting to know your financial limits a little bit more. With Saturn retrograde, it might be just going back on old statements and then having a look at them. Where did the money go? You might be just feeling that, you know what, this money I'm earning is not enough anymore. So Saturn actually could recommend that we do need to put a group effort into something. So group involvement, or asking my friends where I go wrong, or asking the family members actually could be possible. Family members also are in the picture because Moon is in the sign of Aquarius as well. And maybe they are able to detach themselves this time around and then telling you exactly the tea. So another huge topic which might be coming up with this aspect is your worthiness. So in many cases, Saturn-Venus square says, I'm not good enough. I don't feel good enough among my friends, the society, or the society makes me feel belittled. This is an aspect when it's kind of a little bit of a late bloomer. It has got difficulties to find love, but it's typically coming from self-loathing. So the questions it might bring up is, what is preventing me from loving or being loved? What is your fear towards being loved? Why am I not able to show that I also need love and I'm very loving and caring? Why am I not able to show my deepest secrets? Venus in Scorpio. So Venus is something to do with beauty, harmony, self-love, relationships, money, sensuality, your personal taste, your likings. Typically, it represents younger women in the chart, but also it would talk about agreements, negotiations, as well as sexuality. Now, Saturn is a winter energy. In traditional astrology, actually, it represents death, old age, disease, darkness, when we tend to be ignorant. But on a positive manifestation, it's about commitment, discipline, wisdom, being at the right time, at the right place, putting the hard work in, and then eventually we are going to get rewarded. So one thing which I'd like to point out for you, and that is that Saturn actually likes Venus by face. Now, in order for you to understand that, I think I'm going to be sharing the screen so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is a natal chart tip as well. I think I've made a video about this already. I just can't remember what the title was, but I did make one shortly, so you might want to check that out. So you might want to bring up the transit chart. now I'm just not sure why. Hold on. Okay, so just it was a little bit slower. Okay, so what you want to be looking at is that you can see Venus is on 7 degree of Scorpio, and then you can see that Saturn is on 7 degree of Aquarius. Now, if you go on the Saturn line on the essential dignity table, can you see that Venus is appearing there by phase? Okay, and when I look at Venus line, Venus does not care about Saturn much. So it's kind of like giving a cold shoulder to Saturn. And that kind of makes sense in a way, because Scorpio is a fixed water, so it talks about ice. So we are iced up, we don't give a crap basically about anything, right? So Venus shows cold shoulder towards Saturn. Now, so the fact that Saturn actually likes Venus by phase, it does indicate that at the moment, it's not necessarily a significant issue. However, once Venus moves forward, and maybe when it hits about 10 degrees, these issues can be coming up when it loses its phase energy. The phase energy is going to last till about 10 degree, 9.59 degree to be precise. So in 3 days time, actually this Saturn Venus square, even though they are separating, it can come up, because at the moment, Saturn is looking at Venus a little bit positively, not so much, it's just a 20% strength, but it does look at it a little bit positively. Now, another manifestations of this constellation, that Venus is the love, right? And Venus loves doing some type of research in the sign of Scorpio. And Saturn is all about work. So we can actually love to work in this period, or not loving to work anymore whatsoever. We can really go to the extremes, because Scorpio brings up some type of crisis situations. So I don't understand why I have loved my work so much last week, but actually I hate it this week. And maybe because I kind of feel a burden from the responsibilities I have to attend. Maybe this aspect would talk about the realization of the fact that life is too short, and sometimes we need to have a little bit fun as well. But the major message here is, why don't you feel good enough? Do you need to face some financial challenges? What type of responsibilities do I need to take in my relationship? Do I take money seriously enough, or I'm just spending the money like there is no tomorrow? On a positive level, this aspect is actually very good to make a vow. Now, you might want to be looking at what Venus and what Saturn rules in your chart, and then you can make a vow about those. But the square element indicates that I don't know how to express this vow. So it could be marriage. I want to propose to someone and I don't necessarily know how to do that. Or you might want to be looking at, what Venus rules in your chart, or what Saturn rules in your chart, and you want to be, or where those two planets are coming from, and you want to be making a vow around those topics. Now, Saturn and Venus square definitely could talk about divorce as well. So it might be about wanting to get divorced, but Saturn is retrograde, so you might want to take it, you might want to think about it just a little bit. Also, it's very possible that in the news, you're going to be reading about divorce rate quite a lot. Venus in Scorpio suffers a little bit, and Saturn is the planet of suffer. So we've got a very strong planet and we've got a very weak planet meeting at the moment. So definitely Venus is suffering here quite a lot. So because Venus represents your beauty, you might see this darker side of yourself. I'm ugly and all those type of things. I don't feel beautiful, so I just want to be dressing up in black, for instance. Let me hide a little bit. From a medical perspective, this is the combination of kidney stones. Now, Venus is something to do with relationship and kidney, and Saturn is a stone. So, by the way, in kinesiology, kidney stones talks about an anger built up in my relationship or because of my relationship. Also, I've seen Saturn and Venus playing out a masochist type of energy as well. There is a pleasure of finding pleasure in suffering, but that's the very extreme condition of this. And I just wanted to mention that because of the Venus in Scorpio energy, that could go very far. But use this energy wisely. So it can be about making a plan, Saturn, what I am going to be eating. So basically your diet, which belongs to Venus, food and diet, but also Venus could talk about cleanliness as well, because you want to make the area around yourself more pleasant, more comfortable. So you can actually make a plan around what type of clothing I can throw out or I can take to a charity shop. So it's something in time, I'm going to make something fresher and cleaner. It could bring tests in the relationship. The question here could be whether the relationship fails or pass. And Saturn is the judge, so it likes making judgment over Venus this time around. So Venus, Saturn, because it's in rulership, it can become a little bit harsh this time around. And Venus, because it's very sensitive at the moment, water sign plus detriment as well, it can take it to heart. But the positive side of this is solidifying relationship. Make sure you don't lend money to anyone. Saturn in Aquarius, retrograde, it might not be coming back. But it could also talk about how I am going to be breaking the ice with someone else. It could be great if you can appreciate someone's hard work. That could be also another positive manifestation. Think about why I don't deserve pleasure. Why do I deny pleasure in my life? Why does pleasure cause guilt? Why do I choose always duty over pleasure? This combination indicates that someone is a late bloomer, but at the same time, it's also very possible that you're gonna be scared kind of to death of loneliness. Ooh, what am I gonna do in my old age when there are no people around me anymore? I've also seen that Saturn and Venus square tends to be doing way too much comparison. So, oh, that person has got bigger boobs, or, they have got longer hair than me, and all those type of things. And then Venus in Scorpio decides to end up at the plastic surgeon on an operation table because I need to look like them. So there is an element of an undervaluing yourself with it. But on a positive note, this could be very good to give a helping hand to someone who is struggling with self-love, and you can give them an element of a structure in their life. Interesting, Saturn is the planet of control, Venus is the planet of spending. So you might get pulled apart between these two things. Oh, I really want to buy that, but when I look deeper into my bank account, maybe I cannot afford it. So what shall I do? And then Saturn says, you know what, be patient and then wait for a discount. And then Venus says, hold on a minute, I want it now because I've already made an emotional bond with it. So, but in many cases, Saturn and Venus square thinks that it's very wrong to be vain. So it ends up not spending money. Or I need proof from others that I am beautiful. So this aspect would talk about, especially with Venus in Scorpio, which means that you need to dig deep to find that inner beauty within yourself. So don't rip your heart out, just like the lady does behind me. Thank you, everyone, and see you very shortly with another video. Bye-bye.